Alright, so we're still setting up over here. So in the meantime, just say hello to all of you guys and girls and everyone else in the chat and whoever might be looking around and watching. Today I'm gonna be continuing this model on this transformer. And it's a new model. I was doing it in ZBrush, but I decided because most of it is mechanical functional design, I, I switched over to Maya because it allows me to animate and rotate a little bit more easier than ZBrush can give to me. So that's where we are now, hence the different program that you might see here in comparison to last week, Wednesday. Also, I restructured the head and helmet. So I've done a visual update to that one because it wasn't quite what I wanted it to be, and I found an old, well, an older image, but it was the latest image of this mech's design, and it showed me the head, and that's gonna be it. So yeah, that's what I'll be working on today. So I'm still syncing up with my dual stream partner, and gonna finish that up right now, and then we'll get started. So just a second. Alright, so people should be able to hear you now as well, if Discord allows that. Just so you know that you're probably gonna be, you know, having your feed through my channels as well. That works. Yeah, I think that works. Can you say something? Can you, I don't know, say hello?
Hello.
Yep, it works. Excellent.
I'm glad.
Very good, very good. Alright, so I'm gonna be doing some work on the rotor discs first, I think. I think that's what they're called.
What transformer is this?
This is a own design.
Oh.
Do I sometimes make own designs? Yes, I sometimes make own designs. Although not often. This is a a rare occasion. It was from earlier role-playing games that I participated in. Because yes, I'm a geek and a nerd.
Aren't we all?
I am not ashamed. So. But yeah, he transforms into a jetpack.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. It's a little bit unconventional, I guess, but because usually you have transformers that transform into something a little bit more autonomous, I guess, I suppose. But not this one.
Yeah, the only jet I know is like a Decepticon.
Yeah, the actual jet fighters, I think. So there we go. But I started doing this one as I explained in the chat already.
Just one moment.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I started working on this in ZBrush, but eventually I opted to transfer to Maya anyway, because Maya allows me to do a little bit more of the if I wanna. Well, ZBrush, for instance, doesn't have instances to begin with, so it would be really, really difficult to simultaneously build a robot mode and an alt mode and have them update. Because I can, I don't know, for instance, say, select this dot here on his chest plate, and you can already immediately see that the other component on the left also has the same dot selected. So if I move it, they move at the same time. So that allows me to build both modes in at the same time.
I'm not quite sure what that means, but I believe you.
It's efficient. That's what it is. This is getting technical quite fast. No, this is more what I want. Okay, so what I'm building right now, really quickly, is the part of the turbine system on his back.
Are you going to try to make him into a toy as well?
I want to at some point, but right now I'm just gonna focus on actually getting the model right, because there is no it's not an official model, right? So there is no frame of reference that I can use.
Uh-huh. By the way, did you manage to bring the insectoid to a print shop?
Not yet. I still haven't had time to actually get a good look at the joint system.
Uh-huh.
So it's still stuck at the same state that it was, and I really, really, really should reserve some time at some point to actually get it to a printer.
So you will just want to do it in one shot, not print it once and see what's wrong and fix it.
No, I need to actually abstract the whatchamacallit? The joints, and then do some test prints, and then see how they need to be adjusted. And then based on that, eventually when I have those right, I could just print the rest. But yeah.
Yeah, since I've studied sculpture, fine art sculpture, I'm still mentally stuck in the trial and error and building a model first.
I hate that. I hate it so much. I hate the entire trial and error thing. I'm so... Well, I don't hate it, but I am
I don't
really
mean
bad with
rehearsing.
it.
I don't mean it's just sketching, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no word for it in modeling. So doing like play modeling, I mean. So you basically do a small version that that is not necessarily accurate. You can go all the way, but you don't have to, and you figure it out what works and doesn't work.
Yeah. Although some basis of actually trying to get it right is still needed.
Yeah.
Huh, alright. It's my calculation off. I think it is.
What is off now?
My calculation.
Oh.
I mean, I want to do a radial duplicate, but so you have, and I'm not very good with numbers, so it's usually trial and error with me on that front. A full radius, a full circle is 360 degrees. If I wanted to divide that up to, say, I don't know, 3, 6, 12 pieces? No, but I had 16, so 16 looked good. So divided up to 16, I come at a, angle of 22 per segment. So rotation of 22 with 16. But then there's this one piece that is looking off. Although no, it isn't. It's so weird. Okay. Whatever. Gonna delete this one, and we're not gonna talk about it again. That's the easiest solution. Just don't speak about it. Don't talk about it. It's okay. It's fine. Shh.
Well,
No. Shh. It's fine.
never existed.
It never existed. There was never a problem. It's all in your head. It's all in your mind.
Oh.
How can you say that? Well, very easy. I just did. So, and because every one of them is an instance on its own, I can just easily go in here and then add another bit and then just extrude it or modify it, and everything just updates right along. And I could not do this in ZBrush, so this is the best thing about it. Which you're gonna be hearing me gush about more often. So, what are you working on right now?
Nothing in particular. Just doing study drawings, I guess.
Have you been having, a good, because you were, busy doing a lot of other stuff for a while. Did that, was that finished already, or were you still working on that?
Oh, yeah, that commission was an art request was finished. Both were finished in May.
Oh, nice. Very good.
It was not very efficient work, but I eventually got it done.
Let's see, I think I want to... turn that into a curve, and then so.
It's surprising that this version of the driver actually works, because previous versions of it don't work at all. And newer ones, like the newest model, is not even compatible with my Windows, because I didn't bother to buy. I had a Windows 7 Pro, and then I just went with the Windows 10 Standard.
Alright.
It's not even supported by the newest driver, and yeah, it still prompts me to update to that stupid driver.
It's Wacom, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds kind of familiar, to be honest.
This issue only started when Microsoft decided to unveil their super Surface model line
It would make sense, I guess.
because now the Wacom drivers depend on Microsoft Ink driver, which is the surface drawing driver and supposed to be universal,
Mm-hmm.
but I think they are sabotaging their competition. Like a really cheap Chinese knockoff.
Yeah.
They don't even work with. They straight tell you to just disable it, and they don't even want to bother working with.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of know what you mean there. It's my Chinese knockoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
so
at some point, well, they did put out new drivers now, so that's good. But it's still kind of.
well, I heard the driver works just fine. It's just that as uh, if Windows update or something goes wrong, since it doesn't rely on ink or something, it just works. It's the same with Wacom, but usually, like every time I updated Windows, it took like a few hours for the driver to readjust. It's kind of like a weird thing
Mm-hmm.
where it readjusts to the new Windows and the pressure doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until,
That sounds familiar.
yeah, until I don't know what happens, but after a few hours it starts working properly. I don't even know why Wacom relies on that driver because the Microsoft Surface doesn't even have doesn't even come close to the pressure the Wacom tablets have and require. I think it's like one they have the Surface models last I've read have 1000 points of pressure,
Mm-hmm.
whilst Wacom goes to 4000.
All right. Yes. Yeah. It's a bit iffy, but I don't really pay too much attention to the entire thing.
Well, they're trying to push it to 8000, but other than digital painting fanatics, no one sees the point. I mean, I know someone from Twitch who's a comic book artist, and he uses a Wacom model from the 2000s. So it's basically kind of just 1000 points of pressure, maybe even lower.
Yeah.
And he says it just works just fine.
Yeah. It's okay. This one also has one. I don't know. Anyway, I'm wishing a good evening to a viewer on Twitch, the Beast from the Southeast, which is an awesome name actually.
See ya, man.
I am dual streaming with this guy's drawing, who is doing some comic art, and I'm doing some 3D modeling.
By the way, I always forget to host you.
Which I should probably spare a moment to look up your stream thing.
I'm just drawing hands after half an hour.
There we go. Alright. I'm gonna be moving this out of the way for a second. Oh no, let's not mess with that. Nothing good ever comes from that.
From what now?
I try to move a piece of the arm, but sometimes if you select multiple objects that have different transforms, it starts moving everything in a different direction.
Oh.
Which is hilarious, but it's also not good. Luckily we have isolate select. Alright. Also, I'm seeing that my Twitch name isn't correct. Because I'm not redesigning a creature, I'm modeling a mech. There we go.
Yeah, that happens even if you update the.
Oh, really? Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, you have to. If that happens, you have to like refresh it and then refresh the window, the channel window, then change the name again, then refresh again until it works.
Really? No.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna try one more time. Modeling a mech. Done.
Or just hit update like frenetically for like 6 times. And then refresh the channel page and you will be okay.
It's fine, it's fine. For Twitch I am apparently doing a creature redesign. We're gonna leave it at that.
There's a bloody thunderstorm. My internet might go offline.
I hope not.
Because of poor infrastructure. It's not like the power lines or cables fail. It's just that the people who work at these companies are so lowly paid and usually are just untrained idiots. And it's not even their fault, it's just companies are so greedy and they just try to squeeze as much money as possible.
Mm.
And they do a really poor job on isolating the tiny servers. You know,
yeah.
the proxies.
Alright, I can move this now, and oh wait, it's missing something. Alright. Okay. Okay, it's not completely snap connecting, but I'll accept it for now. Now here's actually a interesting thing on the order of joints. Because I can do two things here. I can add a joint so the rotor disc can move like this. And then I can add another one which moves like this. There we go. It's not 90 degrees. Is it? Rotate. 95, 90. See, I was right. And we align that and we add it to this, and then what you're gonna get is you can turn the disc like this, and you can also at some point, and now we get into the wonderful world of, what's the name again? I don't know, I forgot the name, but the deformation scaling.
By the way, I think you misunderstood me when I said trial and error. It's just that when you have something on paper, the moment you make the model is to see what improvements you can do to the original design. If it doesn't work in the model, you go back to the sketch.
Right, like that.
That's how I learned it to do it on for fine art sculpting. For me, that involves checking the corners and making sure there's no error in the bindings or where you might interfere with the casting, which in your case would be like the joints.
Mm-hmm.
To make sure they work and not only make sure they work, but to see how they work, how you can improve them.
Right. Yeah, that. So basically, that's what I'm doing right now. You mean to say?
Yeah, I guess.
I am a bit confused though, that I can't seem to be able to rotate it like this without deforming. Oh. So what I'm, what I'm trying out here is that I'll duplicate this one. And then turn it around. Because it is something that I, want to check. So what you're gonna end up with this one is if you, shift it like this, and then you would shift it forward, you're gonna get this vertical or horizontal flow. And I think that if you were to instead
By the way, did something happen to the mic?
no, I don't think so.
It catches a lot of noise, so it stutters a bit. It
As
sounds
in,
like it's physical.
static noise or background noise?
No, 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 no. The signal gets stuttered, so your voice keeps dropping and popping in.
Hmm.
It sounds like amplitude modulation, unwanted one.
Let's see, I am gonna see
No,
if I
it's
can
just
improve the bandwidth.
no, it's just fine.
Yeah, okay. So this is a bit of the, you know, the
No,
difference that okay, can you
it
still hear
goes
me?
at it again. It goes at it again. I'm pretty sure it's something physical. Do you have your phone, Nerby?
Well, not nearby, not near the mic.
Then it's not the phone.
Because it's the same, you know, the same
No, it's better.
microphone I always use.
So it sounds like something is interfering with the microphone itself, so it no, doesn't sound like it's something physical. It's something from the software.
No, I'm also not, you know, hearing any strange things going on. Maybe I need to. A second. I'm moving it around a bit.
No. Well, yes.
Yeah, there's also not really anything I can do about it.
Yep. That's true.
But yeah. Anyway, so I hope it's gonna pick up over time. Hmm. Yeah, because I think that the rest of the stream is just good health. It doesn't. Yeah. Well, anyway. Yeah. I'm gonna move forward. So you know, we can see here that this is what happens, right? The one setup allows you to and it looks really weird because, you know, do this kind of movement, and it's better if I add the other stuff in so we can have a better understanding of it. It allows you to move like that, also fold better. But then we have the other setup that allows you to give more direction. And I don't think this one allows for that. Because you start rotating around a, you make a circular pattern. So right now I'm gonna keep the first setup, but later on I might just change it at some point. Okay. That's hilarious. This is what I mean with the, you know, the general problems. Okay, so I grouped it and I ungrouped the stuff to be able to actually move it to a different location. And this is gonna be a real challenge, actually, to be fair. Because, well, the turbines are going to be the replacements of these. Okay, maybe not. Okay, whatever. Group them. What? Yes. Thank you very much. Gonna rotate that one back. Or actually, not. Okay. Good. Oh, well, that solves that problem immediately. I need to keep it this way so I can actually let them have enough space to get that going on. So all the entire join thing isn't going to be a problem anymore. So that's good. Andy, welcome back. So already wondering where you went.
I warned you.
Was it updates?
No, it's just probably reset it somewhere.
Hmm.
The entire power line went off for a few minutes.
Oh wow.
It might go. It might go again. Like I said, their server are so badly set up.
Hmm.
Last, I mean, I guess it's already 2 years now. But in 2016, they they screwed up. They installed new transformers lines to the existing transformer to handle like 3 times more the power
The,
consumption,
yeah.
and they screwed up the what's that called, the voltage. So instead of being an approximate 2020 volts, the power grid was hitting like 600.
Okay. Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, and I don't know. I guess all my neighbors are stupid because I told people like your TV just fried up your brand new one 1,000 euro
Yeah.
TV just got burned out, and you're not going to sue. Like, oh, it's not worth the trouble.
What? 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 Are you
Like the
serious?
Yeah, the entire street had appliances broken,
Oh no.
and
And they didn't do anything with that.
the tenacity of the electric company, they were like, yeah, we'll see how to fix it. There's nothing wrong with it. We'll see how to fix it. And
Mm-hmm.
we stay like this for 6 months.
Okay, that's awful.
Yeah, and the problem was I couldn't complain to any authorities because unless we decided to sue them, there's nothing we could have done
Okay.
because the law is a bit stupid here. So the electric company is basically the authority on establishing if there's a problem on the grid. So basically, there's no one who can legally
Do anything about it.
challenge, yeah, challenge their say in that matter. So officially, the transformer was hitting 2020 volumes all the time.
That's awful.
Yeah. We have a bit of a long way to go till things go a bit more smoother. Been 20 years since the regime change, but there still are some issues.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
change
it's
doesn't
it's
come.
it's 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 quite weird, you know. Like, well, the power outlet is just, you know, the power cables are not good, or you know, the thing you described, and it doesn't get fixed. It's so weird.
Yeah, that's the. Like I said, it's because of the change to from the old regime to the democracy takes a little.
Hmm.
And like people expect like a few tens of years will do it, but if you think about it, all the Western countries have been democracies for decades, if not hundreds of years.
Yeah, true.
We are just, and people don't realize how destructive communism can be to the mentality of people.
Yeah, because you expect, I don't know, what is the expectancy in with stuff like this? It doesn't matter what I do doesn't, you know.
Uh, uh, there's a Soviet mentality which sticks sticks to Romanians as well, but not so much,
Mm-hmm.
but still is there. Is that it's better not to it's better than to it's better not to stir up the spirits than to fix the problem. So if there's a problem, it's better just to avoid it or go around it than to make a fuss about it.
All right.
And to be fair to the company's credit, it was not their fault. Like on the records, it was 2020 voltage. It's just the there was, according to the law, was nothing we can do about it. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously, they were going to look after their interests. They were not going to admit like, hey, we just pumped an absurd amount of voltage into your houses that can potentially make us pay millions of euros to just one fucking street. Sorry for the fan mouth.
It's quite interesting.
Yeah, but yeah, if the law allowed it, the thing is, we got it to. We eventually got someone to look at the transformer because some of the elder knew another person who used to work at the company when in the 90s and before the regime fell,
Mm-hmm.
and he pulled some strings, and he was allowed to measure in the measure the transformer, and that's how we realized we were hitting 600, 600 volts, which is
All
too
right.
low. Yeah, like literally, there was smoke coming out of electronic devices. Literally, out of my PC, I changed 2 transformers and one additional stabilizer box.
Mm-hmm. I think I had that once. That we had this new monitor, but I think it wasn't wired correctly, and it just at some point when we turned it on for the first time, it just started to smell really weird, and then it had this little ventilation roster at the top of it. So I
Oh,
looked
I know
at
that.
it. I was
No,
like,
that's
huh?
not the same thing, but yeah, I know that happened to me with a few electronics as well. I also had a sound card which I didn't send back, but I did complain to the shop. But I told them like half of the sound card works, and that's the only half I need.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to waste 2 weeks because I need it now. So
Yeah,
I'm
fair enough.
cutting my losses. But no, it was something like the PC was running and would slowly burn over time. When smoke was after a few hours, smoke burned plastic would start to smell in the house.
Yeah, that's awful. Huh.
So yeah, plastic melted, circuits melted. With the PC is actually safe. I don't know how it is with Apple, but it should be the same because it's made to have a security device, which is the power surge, the power source. That takes all the beating. So usually that's the first thing that starts to burn.
Yeah, although I don't think, I don't know if that's the same with the monitor, is it? Do you think so?
I don't know. The second lucky thing was that I had old Intel PC. I don't know, maybe they still do that. But back then they had like a very protective protocol, and if something happened, like there was a power surge or something going through the processor, the whole computer stopped. Not even blue screen, just blank. Instant shutdown. So yeah. I got away cheap.
Yeah, luckily I never had a problem. I would quite hate it if that would happen.
Oh boy. Well, that's what living in a post-communist country means. We deal with it. I'll make it sound so bad, but most of these issues are just related to our mentality, so I don't complain much. Things will change slowly. By the way, just as a side note, last year's train, there's like a company that's still semi-run by the state, the old train company,
Yeah.
communist train company. And last year it recorded 110 years of delay.
Really? What?
Yeah. In total, with all the trains and all the traffic.
Wow.
Yep.
I guess I shouldn't complain too much then. I guess it could always be worse.
Yeah. I don't think it's even their fault. I mean, too much. Because the infrastructure is dying. We're going a little bit through an American phase. So at some point, there's going to be a crisis. There's going to be a lot of money pumped into the infrastructure. And that's that.
It's gonna be a really, really short turnaround point.
Why is that?
Well, you know, if I, oh no, wait, doesn't have to be. What I'm making right now is I'm making the rotation axis of the chest plate, because in vehicle mode the chest plate becomes sort of the nose of the jet. But this little bar here, if that is the turning point, then you're gonna see that it determines how far the chest plate is going to sit on the actual area of the chest in robot mode. But I was forgetting that it should be, at some point it's gonna end up more connected to the face, so it was good, because then you end up with something like this. And mostly I'm just, you know, kind of winging it. It's you have to get up to a certain progression, and then at some point you're gonna turn things around and then start seeing all of these places where you can update that you might not have seen before. If that makes sense.
Yeah, a bit.
It's refinement. Like if you have a drawing, eventually you're gonna start seeing, oh wait, I need to draw this line a little bit more to the left, a little bit more to the right. It's like that. Okay. Okay. So I think it's actually looking a bit better, because you can see that I connected the chest plate with the helmet.
joints of the foot and the legs are the worst to draw ever. One, because I think there are eight bones in that area. Oh, and I have no idea how they work. So far I couldn't find someone explaining to me precisely. It's like it's something that people consider unimportant, or just fail to figure out how they work. I mean, how they look when they work, because we know what they do.
See, I am actually noticing that I'm making an error here.
Makes two of us.
Yeah. Yeah, my error is that I am placing, or well, the chest plate isn't thick enough. Because it cannot have anything underneath it, because it's kinda, you know, it defeats the entire purpose. I could try to... No, it's a problem I haven't entirely considered. But I might have a fix for it. If I turn the arms around, and if I can somehow manage to remodel the arms in a specific way. Nah. Or could be. Difficult, difficult, difficult. Yeah, I'm noticing becoming a little bit quiet here because I'm trying to figure out a way to get this done anyway. So if, and this is a rather big, gigantic if, this piece becomes part of the arms, because I haven't found a really great solution for the arms, and this might be it. So that the chest piece and the arms are gonna make up the front of the vehicle mode, and then you have the wings as part of the shoulder, or actual wing-like appendages. They're gonna be folding over from the top, and maybe not with this actual piece there, but I'm gonna see. There we go. So, just gonna do a little bit of a what if situation here. I mean, the problem this creates is that I cannot actually do the rotation anymore with this piece in the way, which it can do if it's just this. Grant some mobility. Then you keep that abdomen plate in the center. You can draw this further in, and then we need to like big giant yeah. Let's bring back this piece, because it's not going to be entirely wrong. Like so. Goes over there. And then really neatly finish up the legs into something that connects and everything. And then make this more streamlined. And then what you end up with here is one object. And then one object becomes attached to that part. Okay, where did you point me to?
What now?
Maya crashed. Check that one first. That one is way too.
Oh, I forgot to announce on Twitter that we're live. Have you done that?
I did that.
I'll just retweet your tweet then.
App data, local, temp. Oh, look at that. Open. Nice. Okay, so that was right before I added the split polygons to the arms.
Oh crap.
Hmm?
DC is, sorry about the bad language, DC is doing exactly what I intend to do in the comic book. No. That doesn't stand very good with me.
No, that's kinda... oops. It can happen, right?
Guess.
Alright. Okay, so incremented save. I can remove that one for now. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to forgo at some point the design of the front part.
That means what?
Because I cannot really get it right, and I'm not entirely sure if I'll be able to get it right. I mean,
Okay.
I might be able to get it right, but
At what? You're not sure it's worth the time?
yeah. Yeah. Huh. It's going to be interesting. But the key is to split up in smaller segments. So I need to duplicate this again. And then I need to select this and, you know, delete it. And then I need to select the other half. and delete that part. And now I can...
Hope for the best.
Yeah, that's always the case. But then I can, you know, add it in that way, which means that...
By the way, can you hear the thunders?
No, I can't.
That's good.
So if we're gonna imagine that the arms are the other way around, you're gonna end up with this.
Yeah, last week a lightning bolt struck right in front of my window.
Ouch.
Yes, scared the crap out of me.
I was in a train a few weeks ago, and I was on my way to work, and then lightning hit, and it was a really, really, really loud bang. And everyone in the train was looking at each other like, that didn't sound right. And the train slowed down, but it continued. And then at the station, I got out of the train, and it just, it smelled a bit weird, like someone had been lighting fireworks. And then a coworker of mine, who was apparently in the train behind me, emailed the company saying, well, I'm gonna be late because there's a tree on the tracks because the lightning hit it.
Oh, that's great.
So that was a bit of a unique experience, I suppose.
Yeah. No, I literally saw it. It hit a metal pole in the garden
Mm-hmm.
in front of my window, and it just was like, wow. It was actually I think it was a bit across the street, or I don't know exactly the distance because I couldn't tell.
Mm-hmm.
But the thunder did came a bit late, like very very. I don't think you could have told it, but I was a DJ, so it felt out of sync to me. So I don't know how close it was or how far. But yeah. I look at how some great artists miraculously cross hatch, and I'm a bit jealous. I'm not very familiar with inking cross hatching.
I also want the arms to be this way. So I want him to
One moment, I need to see where the cat is.
okay. That works. Okay, that helps more. Get it in the right direction. And I'm probably gonna, be changing my mind and changing this, but it kind of helps setting the general locations of parts. And then we have this mess. Which also doesn't really quite fit. Because right now if I keep it like this, so to say, then you're gonna get all of this stuff here. So you're gonna have this plate that I would then need to remove. But then you have, if I were to make a turbine, an engine booster out of this, you'd have this orb here, the cylinder. And that's going to be causing problems. This thing is going to be causing problems. Even if I were to remove this, it would not look good. And you cannot make this really, really skinny because the joint is a movement joint. It's something he stands on. So this can be a challenge. So I might even want to kind of tone down this area and then add that one back in. Wait, doing this entirely the wrong way around. We select this, you go here, even better yet, you go all the way over there, Maybe not entirely all the way over there. And then you start scaling down. And this is going to be an aerodynamic problem because it's too steep.
Okay. How's it going?
Still problematic. I kinda made the nose less sharp, but then, you know, it becomes too much of a wall, so it's not really aerodynamic. So maybe I just need to make the cockpit bigger, as in way bigger, and then break it up into all of the parts of the body.
Forgot I was not streaming anymore. Doesn't matter.
I still need to, yeah, I don't know what to do with these legs. I don't know what to do with a lot of things.
So what is up?
I am quickly showing Bob that I made before this one to someone on YouTube. I think they might appreciate it. Also, I shouldn't comment to save this one without the Easter eggs.
I'm going to watch you on YouTube.
That's good.
It seems you have a lot of.
No, I just have one viewer. It's
It's still more crowded than my place.
yeah, that is probably true. I mean, I find it funny how I'm just, always excited to show off Bob. I mean, I should, but he's definitely worth showing off.
I hate it when my cat gets bored. She's so annoying. And she's not even a house cat. Can go outside whenever she pleases. And she still decides to sleep all day and then come at night or whatever and bother me because she's bored. And when I say she bothers me, she just wants a reaction, nothing more.
Well, that's usually right. Just do something in that sense. I mean, that's usually what we want from cats too, right? It makes sense that they want that as well.
I'm thinking more of their sense. Like a cat needs to have their cat senses tingle
Mm-hmm.
from time to time. But she could, I don't know why she doesn't do that, like why she chooses a synthetic version and why just not roam around, pick up a fight with another cat, I don't know, do some cat things. She continues to pisses me off. Like, I know what she wants. She wants to go in the middle house and to
Mm-hmm.
just snook on the other people who don't like her. That's what she really wants right now. And I'm not going to let her in the hallway. just so she can annoy people.
That sounds wonderful. I mean, I can't have a cat, so, you know.
Yeah, well, that's the trouble. Like, they like the place where they can hear and see everything. That's their favorite spot always, and of course, that's the middle of the house. I don't know how they found. Like, I have uh, I have two cats at the moment. The third one was adopted by a neighbor, so his fat ass doesn't come often home. But both cats, no. It's like I think cats can detect wind currents. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the direction of the wind with their whiskers. So they always choose. Not. They always choose to stay where there's uh, how's it called? Place where all the currents meet, something like that. So obviously that's the middle of the house. So the wind, the outside currents come from every window, every direction.
Alright. Yeah, so, you know, they can get
Yeah,
they gather
they love that
data
spot.
on stuff.
Yeah, they love that spot. Or maybe she's just bored of sleeping in my room and wants to try one of my roommates' beds or something.
Yeah, I'm confused. Which is okay. It's fine. It just means that I need to do something else for now. And let this rest for a moment.
What doesn't work?
Everything.
That's a very conclusive answer.
Well, it's honest.
Uh,
I mean, okay, I can tell you exactly all of the stuff that doesn't work. The chest plate, right? This part, you know, the part in the front,
yeah.
it is too steep. So you should think of it. This is a it's a jetpack, right?
Uh,
And part of it can not only, you know, move around cargo, but it can also attach to like jet fighters to give them an extra speed boost. So you don't want it to disrupt the aerodynamics of the jet. So you want the front to be a little bit, you know, um, yeah, aerodynamic. That's it. So this thing is way too steep for now. But if I make it more elongated, then it's gonna take up too much space because I don't have that much space in the robot mode. So that is a problem that I need to solve. Then we have the question of where the rotor discs are going to emerge from the body. Because in the robot mode I know that they are going to be on the back and they are going to be connected to the part between the torso and the arms, which is this cylinder right here. This is where they're going to be attached to. I know that.
Okay, I know this might sound stupid, but can you do a physics test for the aerodynamic property? Would
No,
you?
it doesn't need to be that precise, it just needs to be a little bit believable. It doesn't need to be entirely accurate.
Well, it looks to me like it pushes too much air into the. I don't know how airplanes work, but it looks like it pushes too much air into the rotors.
That might be
So
something.
I don't know. I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure helicopters have the extra propeller just to avoid this.
The what?
That's what.
The one on the tail?
No. Yeah, also that, but the bigger they are, they need an extra propeller on the main one. So usually modern ones now have two propellers to avoid being pushed by currents.
Huh.
So let's say the wind blows and the chopper moves against the wind. So if uh, if the mass is too big and it just has one big propeller
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't counterweight that, it will be blown off. But so that's why they put two on the same rotor. The one on the back is for maintaining direction.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
no, to avoid
yeah, but
spinning around.
for I think for two propellers side by side, they it's done by electronics. You can also use, I think, a gyroscope, and basically one engine goes harder and the other slower, depending on the force, the currents, and how the helicopter is pushed to side front from outer forces. So one engine will be stronger than the other to compensate.
It depends because an Apache only has one set of rotors.
Yeah, but an Apache is has the the body mass is smaller.
Alright.
Plus, I think it's an engineering feat on the rotary part that it only has one.
Hmm.
But utilitarian helicopters, which are supposed to carry heavy loads, like hospital
Yeah, yeah,
medic.
trauma helicopters. I see them indeed with Google, with some have.
Yeah, they have two.
Although I only see a toy with two. I want to see an actual.
Look, those don't even have those. But I just knew that from what I learned from helicopters that you have to after a certain if you exceed a certain mass, you need to. I mean, Russian helicopters kind of have two rotaries, two propellers. So that's why I'm used to.
Alright.
It's the only
Wait.
reason.
What if I Google for a Russian helicopter? Oh yeah.
Look, the one with
Heck, you're right.
double rotaries, the American version. Uh,
Well, the Chinook. No, that's not the one you mean.
the utilitarian one,
Yeah, that's yeah
the
the
American utilitarian one. I think you know it. It
what, the one
shows
on the front and the back.
yeah, the one who has two propellers and doesn't have a tail.
Yeah, the Chinook.
Okay.
Wait,
The,
can you check my stream, because I have the search page open right now. You can tell me if that's the one.
yeah, on the stream, yeah, this is the one. On
Yeah.
this one, it's what I said. There's a mechanism and one engine be stronger than the other to compensate for the push and pull.
All right.
And
But
even
then,
with normal helicopters, there's an engine for at least one engine for. I think the Apache has two engines for the main rotor. I'm not entirely sure. I might just saying some misinformation, but they have two engines for each rotor.
yeah, but then of course, we're gonna keep with the question. If you have um, a encapsulated, like one here, the tail rotor is encapsulated. How does that change? How does that affect the function in regards to, a free moving propeller?
I don't understand. So if you say the way you built it is works more like a hydroplane.
I think so, because the image I have right now, this helicopter, the tail rotor is like the one I modeled, and then you have the normal one, and that one is not encapsulated in a casing, right?
You did good. I mean, it's not that you did good. When you encapsulate it, it works like a hydroplane. There is this type of, I think there is this type of plane that lands on water and it has two engines on each wing, and when it lands, it moves the rotors up, and it works the same way. So basically, it stays in the air, and if it's encapsulated, it pushes. It's supposed to push the air even more strongly downwards. But on the Comanche, the one you've seen, you shown me,
Mm-hmm.
on the Comanche, I think the point of having that encapsulation is to have more air, not push on the tail, so there's less force on the back. Yeah, I think that's the one of these.
Yeah.
When they land, depending on the model, they move it up, and depending on the model, they move really up or just a bit. So they move, so the air is pushed downwards. That's used to for landing. When they take off, I don't think they use that system.
I'm still kinda confused. Maybe it says here. How does it work? Design. What is the?
Yeah, like you said, I think it's more of of curiosity to make it as accurate as the mind perceives it. But
No, I do want to have a little bit of, yeah, accuracy, but not entirely the exact science of it. But now I'm curious, how does it work, and why does this uh, Comanche have it, and the Apache I didn't think it had.
like I said, the Comanche has it to have less force put on the tail. because the one on the side pushes left to right. So on the Apache, the problem is that it pushes against the tail, so it's a bit of a structural problem there. There's more force needed. It's a bit of a problem.
Ah, right.
So they add more problem to the tail by make it encapsulated, and if they fix the problems with encapsulation, they get a tail which is more free to move. And I think it also counts to how fast it can change angle, so how fast it can rotate. I'm not entirely sure on that. I'm speculating.
Right.
Because the Comanche is a lot more maneuverable than the Apache, obviously. It's a newer model.
We do now actually have the name of the thing. I did some gentle reading down the side while I was listening to you, just see if it was actually mentioned somewhere what the actual name is. Like, say for an encapsulated tail rotor. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I heard you say it, so I don't know the name of
Fenestron. We don't know the
Aerisnoir.
entire pronunciation, but is a protected tail rotor of a helicopter operating like a ducted fan. It's a trademark of a multinational helicopter manufacturer consortium, Airbus Helicopters.
Yes, it's European, I think. Or no, it's American. Sorry. It also did. I used to be a big fan when I was a kid and collect all these magazines with it was called Top Gun.
All right.
It was full of jet fighters and helicopters.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like seeing those, pictures of, the movies where they sneak a camera and they make a video while they're doing just general test runs or something, or general patrol flights. That's amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, there was a there was an integral article about the Comanche difference to the predecessor, the Apache, and also compared it a little bit with other European, but is it Airbus? I thought it was actually Bel Air who makes the Apaches and Comanches.
No. This is the name Fenestron is a
Oh,
trademark of Airbus helicopters, formerly known as Eurocopter.
yes,
So
Eurocopter. So I knew it right. That's I think it's German English. It's the same company that make all the utilitarian helicopters you just saw when you search for helicopters, all the small ones.
utilitarian helicopters. Hope I spelled it right. No, I did not. There we go. Thank you, Google, for this autocorrect.
They make really cool small copters.
Yeah, you also have the microlights, but I don't think they classify as helicopter. Well, they technically are, but wait, no, they aren't. Never mind.
Okay, now it shows you American and Soviet style utilitarian. uh,
Hey, that's what you're saying. So I'm actually, you know,
I
curious.
think the black one with the white stripes, the one with a very high rotor. I think that's from the Euro.
The black one with the white stripes. This one, the right, the upper right corner.
Or the one on the top right.
Yeah, that one.
You see that has a very long way from the cockpit to the rotor. Yeah, that one.
All right.
I think that I'm not. I might be wrong, but I think this is the Eurocopter. They specialize in like very efficient small helicopters, which are very light. I think their top line, their bestseller is like a helicopter with only two seats,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and
this one.
it's small as like a smart, like a mini car.
Yeah,
Very
kind of looks like
small.
this one.
Yeah, I think this is the one. Might be wrong, but it looks kind of like this. But this is not the model I know. The model I know doesn't have that big front.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, you can actually park one of those into
In a
into
car
a,
space.
yeah, in a car space. That's how small it is. The tail is going to obviously push a bit out of this car space, but yeah, it's that small. And they're very maneuverable. So yeah, they make the ideal. Their main target is like cor corporations. People who are concerned about fuel consumption, durability, and stuff like that.
Hmm. All right. Yeah, I'm reading through this Wikipedia of a ducted fan. Um, it does mention the same things as why I'm actually putting them on this halt mode. Because it, you know, it has the advantages that I'm looking for. That's one part of the thing that I'm putting it on there was because I also think it would work well underwater.
Yes, like you could actually just copy a hovercraft. I mean, that's the way they work. They have two rotaries that push the craft a bit above the water, and it keeps jumping
Mm-hmm.
forward. There's the model which has fan uh, perpendicular to the water, so it pushes in the back, and there's the one, the Russian military style, which pushes downward.
But I'm only seeing them with fans, literally.
I think there is one with a top, like obviously it's not, they're not built like your helicopter hovercraft, but yeah, it's not, the fans are not entirely against the I mean horizontal to, or how, I think it's horizontal. Yeah, they're not entirely horizontal. But
No, I'm
yeah,
seeing that none of these are horizontal. Not even a little bit.
no, okay.
They're all vertical. At least I'm not finding any non-vertical hovercrafts.
Or you could copy there's a model like have you seen the StarCraft helicopters?
No, I haven't.
Uh, like they kind of look the air is pushed into the same way like into the
Oh, right.
hovercraft into the fan.
Yeah.
So they're not they're a bit no, not this one. Uh, the top right one. See?
This one?
No, the top right one.
Wait. Can you describe the color?
Top right one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, top right one. Top right one. You had the mouse over it.
This one?
Yeah,
This one. The red one.
I think so.
Right, because
So
it's kind of the same model as the one I had before, right?
yeah, so when it moves forward, the air is pushed into the fans. So you can design it same way.
Yeah, I see it. This is actually a really, really good design.
Yeah, this was actually the only the only take I had on the design. It felt like there was too much force pushed into towards the fan, and it was not directed.
Hmm.
Like the one on the avatar seemed stupid to me, but I don't know. That's just me.
It seems very, very fragile.
Yes. No, it's just that the way the air pushes from the cockpit towards the fan and seems a waste of energy and the pushback.
Hmm.
Even the like you can also copy the Comanche design. The Comanche is designed to push the air out of the back fan's way. So when it moves forward, it has to tilt forward, and the way it's designed, see, it pushes out the tail's way. See how the lines go above the tailway, the cockpit lines.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
I see.
so the back tail is avoided. This is uh, the other way around, not pushing the air into the fan, but away
Oh,
from the
here.
fan.
This is a side view.
I'm talking about the back, obviously the front, the big rotary. I don't think is going to be affected by the wind. So, but even so, it looks like it's pushing into the I don't know what those fans are in, like those tail whip or whatever
Hmm.
they are on the Comanche. I think it looks like the wind on the cockpit. It's pushed into those when it that's because when it needs to move forward, it has to lift its tail and push its front down.
Yeah. Yeah, that I know. Um, yeah, I'm having trouble picturing it, but maybe if I really, really, really. Let's try this. No, I was kind of hoping for, you know, a neat little picture that would explain the air currents,
Yeah, that would be cool.
but we're in no such luck. No. Anyway. Yeah, I'm starting to realize maybe it would just be a better
Oh, that's the tiny Eurocopter I was talking about. There was a picture of it.
wait, what where? The white with blue?
Yeah, it was the blue one. Yeah, the tiny blue one.
Well, with the blue stripe?
A bit lower. I have to wait for your stream to be in sync with what we say.
Why am I not simply Googling for Eurocopter?
Yeah, the tiny one, the tiny blue one. I think that's the one. 3 rotors, and the tiny black one might be as well.
I'm seeing a tiny black one.
Yeah, cool little things. Very ergonomical, economical. Like their intention is built so small, so they can only put 3 efficient rotor. What's the names? 3 spades on the rotor,
Mm-hmm.
so they don't waste a lot of material, so they can make it cheap. Really cool. Those are American copied models.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I get the gist of it.
Yeah, it was fun talking about it.
Yeah, I'm always in to talk about stuff like that. I mean, jets and stuff. But I'm starting to warm up to the idea of just making the entire vehicle mode first and then see how I'm gonna divide it up.
I thought you were going to say warm up to the idea of giving up.
Yeah, I already warmed up to that and then I already dropped it. Because we are not going to give up.
Yeah, good idea.
So if we, you know, work, because I still have a little bit of time. What I actually want is, very quickly speaking, wait, I don't need to bother with that, I have them right here. So I take one of these, I steal it, there we go. I mean, it's not quite what I want, but it gives us a general idea and direction. There we go. And they're probably gonna end up bigger. There. So you're gonna have those cool boosters at the back.
Oh, it already has boosters?
Yeah. Well, you think the rotors are doing everything?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Even the Comanche has a bit of jet propulsion.
It's really funny because he now, you know, it's kind of like a bird. Paka.
One question. I just have one question. Why are the legs like that?
I was experimenting with a structure that
Oh,
allows him to fold.
land us, land on his feet.
No, 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 no. I wanted to sort of have a system that hides actual four thrusters in two legs. So the ties, they can rotate separately, and they are also thrusters. So you have, very quickly speaking, simulating this. So you have one thruster inside the upper leg, and then you have another one inside here, and that's your leg. So at some point this is gonna turn out or twist the other way, but yeah, I still need to consider that a bit more.
Mm-hmm. Intriguing.
But I was quite fascinated with that design idea. But it, building it like this, shows the actual design problem that you have this this part, the one that I highlighted, that isn't going to get any smaller because that is actually the length of the tie. So you're gonna have this ugly gap where the tie used to be. So it's not quite as yeah, a fabulous design as I pictured it.
You could go just to be for it to be aesthetically pleasing, because usually if it's aesthetically pleasing, it might be aerodynamic as well, because aerodynamic designs are. So you could, if you are not certain about, just not overthink it and just choose that looks best.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna end up that way.
Like the way I think it is like try to find the best solution. If nothing comes up, try to find the best looking solution. Even if I'm drawing and I don't know what certain things should look like, I tend to choose it that way. And I don't think I'm the only one.
No, true. Eventually, visually awesome things are usually more awesome than accurate things.
No, I mean it's a solution for a problem if a more concrete solution is not available. So at least even if it's not the right way, it looks the right way, so to speak.
Yeah.
Let's say it's story-wise. Let's say if I want to make someone be very, very smart, I could have him look like he's doing very, very smart things, like, maybe he's a computer genius. But obviously, if I'm not uh, very good, I'm not very good at programming language, especially not assembly or rudimentary things, especially not mathematics. So obviously, I'm not going to show him at the computer, not gonna show the codes, not gonna make dialogue where he explains things.
Yeah.
That would be detrimental to me. So you can actually hide as well. I don't know if that explanation needed further.
No, it helps. Um, I'm also looking at actual pictures of jet fighters right now.
What I'm hitting at is you can always just suggest. If it looks like suggesting that works. I love the new one which is still under development. I mean, it's actually it's a weird uh it's in development, but it's also deployed.
You mean the Joint Strike Fighter?
Yes, yes, that's very stupid fighter.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite is the Sukhoi 21. I think that's the best design for
With a K or a G?
the Sukhoi.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. All I know is the only the Russian still keep it a secret, but it's the only plane second to the Raptor who can almost take a vertical takeoff.
Alright. Then I
Or
probably don't need to look for pictures.
sorry, not vertical takeoff. It can only do vertical landing. The Raptor can do vertical takeoff,
Alright.
but it's kind of the second plane, or was in the 2000 kind of was. I was very young when that was unveiled. But even if it's in service for like the past 20 years, it's still a secret
Mm-hmm.
on its top capabilities as it wasn't deployed ever. Uh, yeah, there are pictures of it there. It basically has the cockpit very high and the engines very low. So the cockpit
Alright,
is
yeah.
not on the same level as the engines.
Kind of bit like this one.
Yeah, I think that's the one.
It's MiG 29.
MiG-29. And they're kind of the same planes. Uh, it's only made by one. The design is made by one factory, and then it's taken by the other factory, so it's basically the same. So the Sukhoi and the MiG is the same thing, but it was designed by
Oh wait,
Sukhoi.
I think it was
Ooh, I think this is the Eurofighter.
what, this one? The Spitfire.
No, no, no. At some point there was a picture with something that looked like the Euro.
Wait, was it the really fancy one? The
It
big one?
was, yeah, it was one big which was very equipped with a lot of rockets.
Yeah. Um,
You know what's the interesting fact is that the original design for the Eurofighter was uh, was actually the only efficient uh, efficient jet fighter with a vertical takeoff, but only the three prototypes did that. The original three or four, but it was too expensive to manufacture, and European armies did not want an expensive plane. And when I say efficient, I mean, it was supposed to be a medium fighter, so it did just that.
what number did you mention?
Of, I think I'm not sure what you're asking.
The the Sukhoi.
I'm not Su-21, I think Sukhoi 21.
Because I play some World of Tanks and suddenly I realized that Russia names their everything starting with SU.
No, it's I know this. I think it's this. The Sukhoi and the MiG are not competing companies, so they will take. No, it's not this one. I think the MiG 29. That was the one. They take each one's design and they make a version
All right.
because there are ex-communist companies, so.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yes.
Basically, if one designs, they designs for the Russian government, and the Russian government gives the design to the other company, and they make a version. So yeah, believe it or not, this plane can actually almost vertical land. It's a really cool plane, and it has seen combat, but it's since not intensive, still mystery on its full capability.
All right. It is a pretty plane, though.
Yeah. Americans and Americans are pretty scared of this. Russians kind of do have a tendency to keep the full capabilities there, and they also make like they mystify their armament.
Mm-hmm.
So since there was no direct conflict between American armament and Russian armaments for a while, still kind of Americans still kind of are in a frenzy to build a counter weapon every time the Russians release something. Like when Arma 3 tank was announced, there was a big scare in America, and then they realized it's just a fantasy tank. I mean, they just build a chassis, and it's no the project is nowhere near complete. You've seen that one, no? The Arma tank.
No, I haven't.
It's a big ass tank.
Is it Russian?
Yeah, it's just like I said, it's just a fantasy tank. I mean, it's a real project, but
Wait.
the Americans know the problems the Russian have. So when Russian first announced it, they were like really scared because they did model tests and they couldn't figure out how they solved the weight problems and all the armor problems that a tank like this
Mm-hmm.
can have, but then they realized the Russians didn't solve either. So what you see is actually a prop tank, so it's only the chassis and underneath it's an old tank.
Wait, I'm not sure which one it is.
I think kind of all of them, except the one on the one with the flag surely is one. There's different models with these kind of tanks. Obviously, like you can change the turrets and become the heavy tank.
Oh yeah, these ones are them, yeah.
And the one with the gray, and there's the one with the flag. Yeah, that's the Arma, but it's just a chassis over an old tank.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's amazing.
Yeah. It came out when Russia invaded Crimea, so yeah.
All right, that's
They wanted something to scare the Americans.
yeah, I think that succeeded. It would have succeeded.
Yeah. But Americans don't go. I've noticed they don't go with heavy armament anymore because of economical reasons. They want. Uh, I've read that they have this problem that they have to spend each year. They have to spend a certain amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't go on research, uh, the armament companies do not make a profit. So they made a deal with them, and they kind of like the oldest tank in the American forces, like 2 years old. If it goes older than that, it's automatically replaced with a newer tank, even if it's the same model,
All right.
just to keep the machine going. So the new model is to build uh, newer and newer technologies each year. So like laser tanks and those kind of things.
It sounds rather inefficient, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know.
They justify the money because it's very expensive to build one, so keeps the factories open, and they're quite efficient, to be honest. Like no enemy tanks destroyed, all the tank crew immobilized,
Mm-hmm.
because they do make real burn damage to the person. But I think it's kind of like the first degree. It's like the kind of burn you get from boiling water, not from fire.
Oh, right.
Not sure they actually deployed it yet. They still say it's a test weapon, but it works. They can take out a freaking. It's a tank. It's a very efficient tank because you can take out tanks, you can take out jet fighters, you can take out high altitude bombers.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah,
pretty versatile.
obviously it depends on the model. So high altitudes bombers can be taken down only by a certain type of strong laser. So the lighter models cannot do that, but whatever. It's still a pretty cool weapon. And it works by destroying the circuit, immobilizing the crew members, and with the exception of the planes, it's not even a potential lethal weapon.
Actually, sounds like a really good invention in that case.
Yeah, they advertise it on. Do you know that Brooklyn Nine-Nine show?
Yeah, I do. I haven't seen it, but I do heard about it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. But at some point there was this scene in one episode, which is on YouTube, where they flashed out new guns, and uh, there was like a police version of it,
Ah, right.
the heat gun. It's kind of the same thing, with the exception that it's not laser based,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not very efficient. It's just at close quarters, because on civilians laser provoke blindness if misused.
Yeah, that does tend to happen. Which I don't really get, but I mean, you know, people abuse it even regularly.
And I think the police version doesn't give burns. It might give blisters, but no burns. Well, except if you sit on the bloody dish, then probably yeah. Can- There was another cool gun. I really love that one. There's like an extension, but it's actually a gun because it uses like it uses pistol rifles or pistols
Mm-hmm.
as as the firing mechanism,
Okay.
and uh, the rest of it looks like an extension, but actually it's the gun itself. It's just that they didn't bother to make. Uh, I think it's also for economical standpoint, so you, they choose to allow the user to install whatever firing mechanism they want. But it's a gun that shoots around corners.
Ah,
So
that's
the gun
amazing.
is around the corner, and you have a camera, and it's computer-based targeting.
Alright.
Obviously, it's made to be used for close quarters, not long distance
No,
shooting.
understandable.
But yeah, it's really cool. It's was designed for the Israeli armed forces. Yeah, usually you see the the Glock pistol version,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also advertised with assault pistol rifle version, like the IR-15. It's actually weird that they call it assault rifle, this because it's actually a pistol rifle. The difference is that a rifle can, if a rifle can cut off your fingers if someone shoots at you,
Mm-hmm.
or your entire arm for that matter, because of the punching force.
Alright.
While the pistol is or less damaging. It also has to do with the caliber. So what did you decide to do?
I am making a quick block out of a, a general, because it was usually just making the big pieces and then trying to fit them together. So I'm taking a different approach here and just trying to let's see, quickly block out the general design of the entire vehicle mode. And from there on out, start determining, okay, which parts are part of the legs, which part is like the upper leg, which part is the arm, stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
If that makes sense. I mean, you can see the difference, right?
Just one moment.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not
Yeah.
going to let the head stick out partly as part of the design. It's just probably going to disappear entirely, which is going to make the body a bit more bulkier, but I won't have to, at least I think, I won't have to deal with body parts that might seem a little bit too small or something. I don't know. I think I have a plan. I hope I have a plan, and we'll see. Okay, and I'm going to do a little bit of a sanity check here. I'm just gonna add placeholders.
Sanity check.
Yeah, because it's I created orbs in one as placeholders for the way it attaches to stuff. But then you see just orbs and you don't really have an idea of the space it takes up. So there we go. It's actually using inspiration from aquatic animals for the attachment system.
I'm thinking to also get a copy of Girl's SketchUp.
Mm-hmm. As in, you think you want to use it?
Yeah, I think a lot of stuff, well, instead of just drawing it, just pulling out a model saves me a lot of time.
For some art stuff I did, at some point I literally modeled a mannequin.
And it's not just because it's going to be easy. The demands to have it pristinely clean lines makes it the obvious choice to just ink over a 3D model and
Mm-hmm.
not bother drawing it. I think with only the exception of maybe marble and DC, I think this might be the norm now. I've seen someone actually also to when doing a scene in a certain environment to model that environment in something in Google, or like programs like Google SketchUp, something where you can do it really easy.
Yeah.
And then just use a projection the angle you want.
Yeah, and then you get perspective right, and they can just draw on top of it.
Not, it's not the perspective per se. It's more like you getting the environment right. So so it doesn't look strange from a different angle. It still looks like it's the same room.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you basically avoid that feeling of being the same room because it is the same room. Just change the angle. By the way, do you also like Grand Prix racing, like Formula One?
Yeah, I do too.
Have you seen that movie Rush?
No, I have not. No, I don't actively watch it, but I used to enjoy it when I still lived with my parents, and my dad used to watch the Grand Prix races every weekend or whenever they were on, and then I would enjoy, watching it.
Yeah, I love it. I can't enjoy it to the fullest because I'm not a good, uh, not a driver, and I'm not. I used to. My parents forced the hand of a local
Mm-hmm.
kart club for
Yeah.
kids, and had had me and my brother enlisted to that club. But after 1 year, they kicked us out
Oh, why? That makes no
because
sense.
we weren't. performing, so they made room for other kids.
Okay, that's okay. Sure, whatever.
Yeah.
It's a bit strange.
No, like they did. The two dudes did wait the entire year, and then they did give us like a qualifying run,
Mm-hmm.
and we failed it, both me and my brother. And they said like just come next year. We we gave the spot to
All
someone
right.
else. Like it was a competing club, so yeah, obviously they wanted the best drivers.
Yeah. Okay.
Even
That makes sense.
yeah, even if it was like for free, like was subsidized by the government and through sponsorships. We didn't have to pay anything part of it. We just had to be good. We were not. But yeah, it was fun. It's good. Like gives kids the chance to. I don't know if still active now. Been a while since I was 5. But yeah, it gave kids a chance to get into the automotive world.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I was only 5. I don't remember much, but the club explained everything to us, from taking down the engine and building it up again.
Oh, that's really
What a lot.
cool.
Yeah, that's what a lot of kids did. Obviously, I only watched. I was not allowed to do anything. I was only allowed to drive the carts.
Ah,
As
that sucks.
yeah, I was a 5-year-old.
Yeah, but still.
It made sense not to allow me to. I think if they had people, more teachers or like that, they would have allowed me to under supervision. But as that was said, only 2 people. No, they couldn't. They couldn't allow that. I mean, we were actually meddling with the cars we were driving, so they only had, I think they only had 4,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them was for practice and one of them we didn't touch because it was the only time we were allowed to touch that one was during competitions, and obviously only the competing kids were allowed to drive that one.
Mm.
Because if that broke down, I don't think they could have replaced it. Yeah, that model was brand new and was donated.
Yeah, it makes sense to be extra careful with that then.
But it was fun. I don't actually watch Formula 1 anymore. So, same reason. I don't have the time, but I rediscover it through YouTube, and I try to watch the summary of race.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. I hardly watch television, I have to admit to that, so it probably, you know, has a big influence on me not watching a lot of stuff.
It's interesting how the car looks now. Because now the cars are now. I remember in the mid 2000, they used to have the cars much higher
Mm-hmm.
for I think it was for safety or something. But now they allow the car builders to uh, have the cars lower again, very low.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah. So it seems to be interesting to now the cars look bulky again. I think it's for to push all that air. And they introduced safety. They introduced a halo, which is like this carbon fiber. No, this steel uh, protective circle bar
All right. Yeah.
that sits atop of the cockpit, but the one of the insertion points is right in the middle of the driver's view.
Okay, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
So it's at that point. Actually makes sense to put it there, since if you try to put two more to the sides, it would be more problematic than actually put it right in the center. view-wise,
Mm-hmm.
because most drivers are actually mostly likely going to look on the sides and straight in the front, and it's still small enough that it doesn't cover up a full car or something like that, so they're probably just not going to see for a split second a debris or something like that.
Then it's okay.
Yeah.
As long as you know you can still see stuff when you're moving.
Yes, or a person if it's like 100 meters away.
Hmm. I know. I like the front side now. I mean, I'm borrowing heavily from the thing we talked about.
From the jet?
No, the StarCraft thing.
Oh, the StarCraft thing, yeah. It's a good design.
It
And
is.
it, in theory, I cannot say pronounce that word. But it works on intuitively. Okay, I just said it.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, I like the bottom.
Yeah, it definitely is the special gimmick of this one. Because these are gonna be like an octopus, like tentacles.
Oh, nice.
And then you have let's see, which ones were they? You know those fishes that always hang on the sides of on the glass of aquaria?
No, I don't know fishes.
Like these ones. You probably know them. Or these ones. But the gist is, you know, some of them they create a suction with their mouths, but you also have a type that has this plate on their either on their chins or on their bellies.
I know. I really don't know fishes. I just watched a video from, I think it was from BBC, and the only thing I know right now about fishes is uh, krill and planktons that are very essential ocean, and that's it. And that's just and plankton not just for the ocean, but apparently a quarter of the oxygen we breathe is produced by plankton.
Yeah, that's true.
So that was quite interesting. And also they contribute to burying uh, deep into the deep sea, deep oceans. I mean, the carbon dioxide. Hand over here.
Here. This is a funny one.
What? Oh, a little fish.
Yeah, they're fishes, but they're attached to the fingers.
Oh.
So they have, I don't know if the yeah. So it kind of works like this, right? So these are remora, and they have this specially modified plate underneath their heads, which allow them to attach to surfaces. And remora attached to other fish like I think sharks. And so
Oh, I know this fish.
yeah, you know them.
Yeah, these are the ones that clean shark's teeth.
Yes.
Lovely.
So this is how they attach to the shark.
Yeah, they're cool.
So this mech is going to have the same system, and in attached to that it's also going to have these tentacles, so if it carries cargo like crates or something, it can actually have a better grip on the plate or on the cargo.
That's interesting.
But overall you're going to have this indeed this adhesive disc. It's going to be on the bottom side. It's going to make sure it attaches to whatever it needs to attach to.
Well, I'm gonna call it a day for now.
Yeah, it's very late. You're absolutely correct
I
in that.
haven't made a lot of progress, but we've been chatting a lot.
We have been chatting a lot. That's good, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Just,
it has a difference here.
uh,
Just the blocking out works so much better.
no, it's no problem. I know for a fact when so I anticipated and I assumed this problem. So I'm trying to. I should make more studies. I still draw like I'm using a pencil, not. I need to adapt to style that befits inking.
Yeah, uh, it might be just, getting used to, or just indeed, as you say, finding a style.
Practice, I think. Practice is
Hmm.
the key here. Just try things out and draw characters like Batman, while copying other people's style and seeing uh, techniques and methods which I like and
Hmm. Yeah.
copy those. Well, anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up myself.
Yes. Me too.
It's been nice. We are going to see each other next week, same day, same hour,
Yes. Wednesday.
Wednesday on what on YouTube, and for those who watch on platform, watch me work, where you can watch us together with other creative streamers.
Yes.
So, goodbye.
All right. See you later.
See ya.
So yeah, I will be, saying goodbye to all of you guys who are watching. Kind of got a bit messy here, as you can see, but in the end, I'm, just gonna start this blocking out again, and then from there, gonna, do more for the integration of robot to vehicle mode. So I will be continuing this next Wednesday, and then just do some preparations during the week, maybe if I have time. Give a little thought about the back plate, and then yeah, we're gonna pick it up again next week. Maybe in a weekend, but I don't think I'll have time for it. So let's just, keep it to next week and we'll see. So I wish everyone a wonderful day, evening, wherever your time zone is. I wish you a wonderful week and an even better weekend. And I hope to see you next week. Bye bye.